Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the recipients of Exchange. So recipients means the one who receives the email. Like whenever we are sending email to any user and that user is receiving the email. Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the recipients of Exchange Server 2013. Recipients means the one who receives the email. So whenever we are sending email to any user, so that particular user is going to be called as recipients. And in Exchange, we have different types of recipients according to our requirement. So we are going to use it. The first recipient of Exchange is its mailbox enabled user. So who is a mailbox enabled user is a user account in Active Directory with mailbox and email address in Exchange server. Let us take the example like whenever we are providing email communication for any user in Exchange, so that user is going to be called as mailbox enabled user. That means for the permanent employees in our organization, so we are going to provide mailboxes, and once we have assigned mailboxes for them, so that user is going to be called as mailbox enabled user. So mailbox enabled user, they can access the resources of Active Directory as well as they can log into Exchange and they can perform sending and receiving of emails. If the user is sending and receiving of emails, so that user is going to be called as mailbox enabled user. Only for the permanent users we are going to assign mailboxes. But if you talk about organizations, we'll be having contractual employees also. And for that temporary employees, we have one more recipient. It's called as mail enabled user, which is also called as mail user. Now the difference between mailbox enabled user and mail user is mailbox enabled user will be having a mailbox in Exchange, but mail user he will be having only Active Directory account but without having a mailbox in Exchange server. That means mail enabled user he can access only Active Directory but he can't able to log into Exchange and he can't able to perform sending and receiving of emails. Only for the temporary users, so we are going to assign this mail user. And whenever this user wants to communicate with any mailbox enabled user, so he is going to communicate by using his external email address. That means as an Exchange administrator, whenever we are creating this mail user in Exchange, so for that user we are going to store his external email address for the further communication. One more recipient we have, it's called as distribution group. Distribution group is designed only to distribute the emails for its users. That means a group with an email address used for distributing emails to its members. So whenever you want to distribute one common email within the department, at that time distribution group is recommended. So we are going to create one distribution group and after that we are going to add the users inside the distribution group. And whenever user is sending one email to the distribution group, so that email will be received by all the users inside the group itself. So that means distribution groups we can maintain only for the departments. And whenever you want to store any outsider users information in Exchange for the future communication, so that can be stored with the help of this mail contact, a contact in Active Directory with external email address. Now the difference between mail enabled user and mail contact is mail user will be having user account in Active Directory, but mail contact is just a contact in AD with external email address. That means mail contact he can't able to log into AD, even he can't able to log into Exchange. And these are the common recipients of Exchange 2010 as well as 2013. So all can receive emails, so that's why they are called as recipients. And these recipients only as an Exchange administrator we have to create from the server. And whenever we are creating the recipients, we require a console which is called as active, which is called as Exchange Administration Center. So let me show you how we can create this recipients in Exchange. So this is my server in which already have installed Exchange 2013, and this is the console, Exchange Admin Center, which is a web-based management console. And this console we are going to access by using some path, https colon slash slash fully qualified domain name slash exchange control panel, the virtual directory. So in this we have so many features. We have to click on recipients feature. In the recipients feature we have mailboxes tab. So when you click on new, it is asking user mailbox. So when you click on user mailbox, it is asking user alias name. Example, I'm giving user alias name is Sam. If it is an existing user, you can browse and you can select the user, or else directly from Exchange server also we can assign it. If the user account is not available in Active Directory, so directly from Exchange we can assign the mailbox. So first name we have to give. After that, user logon name and the password. So this user account is not available in Active Directory, so I'm assigning the mailbox directly. So once you click on save, now the mailbox will be created in Exchange, as well as user account also will be created in Active Directory services. So like this, according to our requirement, so multiple mailboxes can be assigned. So it is saying here the username is existed, it is already available. So let me change the username. Example username I'm giving is user A1. Name can be anything, but it should be unique, because already we have seen if the name is already available, it is giving the error. Yes, the mailbox is assigned now, and the user email address is by default with his own domain name, that is a1@exchange.com. So like this, if you want to assign one more mailbox for the user, we can assign it, but ensure that user account is completely unique. Now this time I'm assigning a mailbox for user A2 directly because he doesn't have any account in Active Directory service, so I'm assigning a mailbox. And once we assign a mailbox, automatically user account will be created. Yes, now we have assigned two mailboxes, A1 and A2. Similarly, if you want to create one more recipient, example like mail contact, so for this we have to go with contact tab. So in this contact tab already I have created some contacts with the name Sam and T1. That is the reason we got that error while assigning of mailbox. Let me create one user here, mail user. Example name I'm giving is John, and initially it is asking his email address. His email address we have to store external email address. Example john@yahoo.com, because he is an outsider. So I'm storing his email address. And right now, if it is an existing user, you can browse and we can select. But I don't have any user account in Active Directory, so directly I'm creating from Exchange. And john@exchange.com, it will be his computer logon name, not his email address, because we are not assigning a mailbox to him. So once you click on save, now the account will be created in Active Directory. So like this, if you want to create mail contact, we can create it. Only the difference is in mail contact, we have to give just the user information. So this is asking the first name here. So first name can be anything. Example, I'm giving Z1, any name. And alias name it is asking here. So alias name we have to give. And now his external email address for the future communication. Example, I'm giving Z1 at the rate gmail.com. because he is an outsider. So once you click on save, now the accounts are created. You can see that. So we have created two mail user as well as two mail contacts. Like that, if you want to create distribution group, so for that we have distribution group tab. So we have to go with distribution group, and already I have created some distribution groups here. So if I want to create my distribution group for one of the department, I can give the name. Example, I'm giving the name is accounts. Alias name can be same or different. And right now I'm the administrator, so I'm the owner for this distribution group, because by default distribution groups only admins can create. And here we have to add the user, so click on add, and what user you want to add, you can add it. Example, I'm adding here user a1, only one user. Click on save. So like this, multiple recipients we have created, and these recipients, as I told you, like only admins can create it. So we have created here two mailbox enabled user, one distribution group, and one mail contact as well as one mail user. So these are the recipients of Exchange, and out of these four recipients, only mailbox enabled user he can log in. So whenever mailbox enabled user wants to access his mailbox, so how he's going to access is he requires some interfaces, and the interface whatever we are using for accessing the mailbox, so that interface is called as clients in Exchange server. So here we have a browser. So by using this browser as an user, I can access my mailbox. I'm assigning user A1 email address now, a1@exchange.com, and I'm giving the password. As a user, I'm accessing the mailbox. So once you click on sign in, it will take some time because for the first time we are logging to the mailbox. So in the background, it is trying to authenticate the user. Once the user is authenticated, now the user will be able to log in. And after login, so already we know how to send and receive emails. So it is asking the time zone. Let me click on save. So second time onwards, it won't ask you again. And after login, so we can send the email. For sending of email, we have to click on new mail, and after that we can add some email address. Example, I'm adding to user a2 at the rate exchange.com, and some subject test message, and let me click on send. So when you click on send, now the user will be receiving the email. The user a2, he will be receiving the email, and similarly he also can log in. So like this, as an user, we can perform sending and receiving of emails in exchange with the help of clients only, which is the interface between the user and their mailboxes. So thanks for watching the video, guys.